Right, Tom and Matt, you played Bristol yesterday.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
It was amazing. We played Hit the Deck last year, but just as an acoustic duo. So I think, we've been working on touring here in the UK. This is our 5th tour.
Yeah.
And that was the 4th one, which, things were just starting to pick up speed. But, we got kind of lucky. Like in Bristol last year, we played the acoustic stage, which is just outside of the Thekla. So Kids in Glass Houses was playing, and they finished about halfway through our set. So 20 people turned into like 200. And then this year we played with full band on the Thekla, and about 10 minutes before we were meant to start, there was about 150 people there, which for me is pretty exciting. And so we started early, even though we got yelled at for it. But I was like, that's enough people for me to play a show. And then it filled in with even more people as it went on. So I was so stoked, man.
So it's good this year because there's not like clashes with a band that maybe lots of people want to see. So that's pretty good right up your street.
Yeah, I think for me it's just cool that the Thekla is not something you can just happen upon. Yeah. Like people came there to see the band, man. That's just so cool. That's that's what we've been working towards. We want to get our music out there, and it's nice to play for people, man. I mean, for me, the show's the same. If there's 3 people or 3,000, I'm going to put on the same show. But I don't want to play to 3 people for the rest of my career.
No, that's not the ambition.
No.
You got 30 minutes on the stage in the rescue rooms, I think. Feeling confident? Any pressure?
I'm just hoping that there's more than 3 people.
Yeah. Just hoping for a good attendance, yeah.
Yeah.
But, we've been doing it for a while, so I think we've got our set pretty down and everything. But you always feel a little bit of pressure and stuff before you go on. But it's good. It's good to get those butterflies in your stomach, And
it just means we care.
Yeah.
Are you, for yesterday, even, you can talk about this today, are there some parts of your songs that maybe when you go on stage, you're talking about butterflies, are there bits of the songs that you find easier to play and more difficult parts maybe?
I don't know. I mean, I know Matt could probably talk about this more because I throw the band a lot of curveballs.
It's just really playing in a band with him is the most difficult part. Yeah. No, everything goes really smooth, but the set lists mean nothing. So you could write a set list, but we're never.
Which I don't actually. You've now done for the last 5 tours. I have not written one set list.
Yep.
So you just go in heads on. Just
you guys know, we know about 18 songs together, and I like to change the order. And obviously, we only have a half an hour, so I'm gonna skip around and bounce back and forth. And the guys are always kind of just waiting to see, in between songs, what's Tom gonna pick next.
Yeah, he just calls it out, which I kind of like. I always like having a band leader, so he'll just kind of call something out, and then you start rolling right into it.
Awesome. Well, that strategy's working so far, obviously.
Well, I think for me, I found that with the acoustic shows, we could do that more easily. And Matt's been, and I've been playing together since 2012. So Matt knows even more songs than that. And even when I played solo acoustic, there's something organic about that. Yeah. And when I would play with a band, you have a strict set list and stick to it no matter what happened, and you lose that organic feel. Yeah. So I figured out, I guess the secret how to make it organic is just mess with the band.
And I know this is at the start, or the middle of your UK tour so far.
It's only the start. Yeah.
It's only the start, really, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 shows into 11 shows. Yeah. So
this is pretty much the driving force for the Security LP, which is coming out in May.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been pushing the radio pretty hard here, which, to be honest, we don't do radio campaigns anywhere else. So we've been focusing a lot of our touring in the UK, which is why we've done 5 tours since 2012. Plus, the radio in the States, it's all owned by Clear Channel, and there's no way to get into that unless you're on a major label, which we're not. We've never been on any label, not for lack of trying, but we just have.
So it's easier to get some airtime over here.
I would say there's more of an opportunity for DJs to still actually be tastemakers, and we sort of lost that in the States. There's certain shows that you can do it on, but there's a lot more opportunities here, and I don't know, rock music seems like it's still thriving here, whereas in the States it's It kind of ebbs and flows or whatever. But we did a few singles off of the LP or the EP, which is now becoming an LP. So the first one was Terrified, and then we did a short like burst on Don't Stop, and now obviously the main title track.
Okay. I was going also on the topic of campaigns, you did Pledge Music, a campaign for your security LP. What are your views towards Pledge Music? Do you think this is like you've done a video of it on YouTube, and you seem to really support it. So, what do you think of Pledge Music? Is it the way forward?
Well, I met Benji, who started Pledge Music about 7 years ago, and I kind of didn't want to do it at all. Right. And at that time there was no major bands doing it at all. They were just starting out. Kickstarter didn't even exist. So there was this brand new sort of format, and I just said, how is this going to work? I'm just going to seem like I'm asking people for money and all the things that bands are kind of against with crowdfunding. Right. And then when we did the first UK tour in 2012, I did a Kickstarter because Kickstarter is more well known. Yeah. You pretty much have to say, what's Pledge Music? It's like Kickstarter because they're owned by Amazon or what have you. I know I'm going to drone on about this, but I talk a lot. I know you're telling me to shut up. So basically, that one was successful, and that's how we were able to start touring over here. And I saw the value of it, that you're not actually just asking people for money, you're giving them exclusive opportunities that you don't offer anywhere else, and pre-sales. Yeah. And so I think Pledge Music, because I've been trying to get a label deal for, 16 years, and it hasn't happened, Pledge Music is like the DIY label. And now you've got bands like Bush and Weezer and Smashing Pumpkins and Blues Traveler, and they're all doing Pledge Music. And so I think it is the way forward. If no major label is going to come to me, then we're going to do another Pledge Music campaign for sure.
What I also really respect is that you've taken a portion of your funding and given it to the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So, I really respect that, and I'm sure a lot of fans do. What made you decide that that's what you wanted to do?
Well, that's, in my opinion, the best part about Pledge versus Kickstarter. Right. Amazon's the devil, so they don't want to support any charitable causes, and Pledge Music lets you pick anyone you want. Okay. Matt is from Springfield, Illinois, where he started his first band, The Graduate, and he linked me up over there with Bonzi at Kiss FM. So we went over there. What we did a show over there, right? Or there was a radio drive.
Yeah, we did a radio drive, unbeknownst. We didn't even really know what was going on, to be honest. We were just showing up for an interview for a show that we were promoting, and we walked in and they were doing a St. Jude's drive to raise money for the Children's Hospital. Yeah. So we basically, right away we walked up and he's like, "You are calling right now and signing up for this." We're like, okay, and he was like, it doesn't have to be much, $15, $20 a month, whatever you can give, but anything helps because these kids, they're so sick when they go in, and once St. Jude's gets a hold of them, they don't have to pay for a dime for anything. They even put up their parents in hotels, pay for food, do all that kind of stuff until the kids are either better or whatever happens. But he really got us into that, and then Tom thought it'd be a great idea to kind of take that and put it on the Pledge Music campaign, and then keep it going forward with St. Jude. So I think that we'll probably keep working with them more and more in the future.
That's really cool. Really, really cool. I know that for the LP itself, you were recorded with Caleb Turnham, Forever the Sickest Kids. So tell us a little bit about that process, about the songwriting process of him.
Yeah, we just wrote together. We wrote the entire album in 4 days, probably like 2 years ago. Yeah, I met him at Bamboozle in 2011. FTSK was playing, and we met, had a beer. He's like, "Hey, come introduce the band and sing a song with us tomorrow." And I was like, "Your audience is 14. They're not going to know who I am." And I did anyway, and they did know who I was, which I thought was a trip. I guess, DVDs can be purchased by anyone. So we were just about to shoot American Reunion at the time, and they got really excited about that. And anyway, so Caleb and I stayed in touch, and they were in town doing their last record, because now they're broken up, I think. But they were in LA doing their last record, and we wrote the first song in a parking garage because we were hanging out, and I was dropping them off at their hotel. And from there, we're like, okay, we have to get together and do more of this. So it was pretty cool. And for me, it was like hitting the reset button, because I've been doing post-grunge for years, having grown up with 90s rock and writing with Caleb, turned me into indie rock, which at the time I was being heavily influenced by bands like Temper Trap and Atlas Genius and Phoenix. And there's only a handful of indie rock bands that are like high energy indie rock like that. And so I felt like that would be a smaller window of less competition. So I was like, instead of sounding like we are and playing against, 1,000 bands, we could go against these like 10 major bands and like maybe find a little place for ourselves.
Awesome. Great. Awesome. That's a lot to take in.
I'm not actually talking less. I'm just talking faster.
You've just put out a music video for your title track, and you decided to go to your hometown for the Skank Skate Park, as well as other various locations. Did you just want a token of where you live, like your heritage in there? Is that why?
It's not various locations. I mean,
it's all in one place basically. It's like 1 or 2 city blocks in a kind of rougher area of Springfield, Illinois, where I grew up. But these punk kids have all come in and they've made like almost like a hippie community, where there's a skate park, there's a music venue, there's a recording studio, a record store, and a skate shop. And they've kind of taken it over, and there's even apartments there, really cheap housing where the kids can live. So we just thought it was very cool kind of what they had done with their community, and we wanted to tie that into our music video somehow. And they were kind enough to let us basically use their entire facilities for nothing, We invited kids to skate and just covered their skate fee for the day, and ordered some pizzas, and then we got to record on top of we did part of the video on top of a skate ramp, and kids are skating around us. Like, we didn't really tell them what to do. They were doing it, and they interacted with the video and everything without us even trying. So we thought that was really rad that all the kids came out and represented their little community, and we got to kind of showcase like what was going on in that town.
It turned out really great as well. Really, really great.
Thanks, man.
For the set list, obviously I know that you go in head on, but what songs actually really get the crowd going? I know. Are you playing any of the 6 new tracks that you've recorded?
Yeah, we'll definitely do the title track, Security, and then probably the first single, Terrified. There's one new one that kind of has a foot in my post-grunge roots called Rise Up, that's on the full length. I know the guys really like playing that one, so we'll definitely do that one. And the other ones, I couldn't tell you because it may be one or the other.
We pull one out of the hat and go, oh yeah, we'll play this other new one tonight, Yeah.
The guys were like, come on, dude, we're doing a 25-minute set in Bristol. You got to write us a set list, man. So we sit in the car and I wrote out a set list. And then we started with a completely different song.
Wasn't on the list at all. One we hadn't played in like a month or two.
And then I started on the set list, and then I accidentally skipped the second song, which was now the third, and so on and so forth. And then I added another song in because I looked at the time. I was like, oh look, we've played 4 songs, and it's 2 minutes to our actual start time. So we got into like an extra 5 songs. It was cool.
Awesome.
It comes out in a couple of weeks, or over a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Rise Up or any other singles of your new 6 tracks you're going to be releasing to just get the hype going?
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really picked a follow-up single. I haven't really talked to our quote-unquote team, a.k.a. Steph, about which one she thinks will be the next one. Okay. I would imagine it'd probably be Rise Up or The Bet. Mm-hmm. The Bet might be the one because it's the first track. And it's pretty catchy out of the gate. Yeah. I know this because every time my son sits behind the drum kit in my studio, he wants me to put that song on. Yeah. And then, which is great when I have my 3.5-year-old starting the first lyric, which is, I bet you think I'm loaded. When you have a 3.5-year-old singing that song, you go, shit, I should have probably thought about these lyrics. I'm a dad now.
Yeah, whoops. That happened.
Days.
Although he does also like Lose, but that's a kind of a slower track. I don't think we'll put a slower track out as a single. Okay. But people really dig that song.
Good. Awesome. Finally, how do you feel about the lengths that some of your fans go to in appreciating your music? So whether they travel the world to see you, or they get a tattoo, or the same face on the barriers every night, how does that make you feel?
For me, like I said before, my show, I always put everything I've got into every show. Whether there's 3 people or 3,000, and I think I'm honored if someone travels far to see us. I mean, that's just cool. I dig entertainment because it's the safest form of escape, and if I can offer that escape and they're vibing on that, then we're on the same page, and that's awesome, and that's what it's all about, I think.
Brilliant. Just quickly, what are your thoughts and views on Hit the Deck Festival? What do you like best about it?
I like that they've invited us to come and play again.
Twice in a row.
So that's pretty cool. A lot of festivals won't have the same band back the following year. I mean, maybe it's because we did acoustic last year, and that's how it worked out. But so that's pretty cool. Okay. And I don't know. I mean,
Rock City. I mean, I love playing in Bristol. I love playing in Nottingham. So it's just the 2 cities really, and bringing all these great bands together. We're not necessarily in that Warped Tour scene really or anything like that. So it's a lot of fun to play with those kind of bands and get to bring our own style to the table.
I like the people that we've gotten to meet and stuff, and I've already got plans with some of the guys we were hanging out with last night. I've got some different tours where I'm going to be on the East Coast and some in LA, and it's just cool. You would never meet these people if you were just doing the rest of the dates that we're doing on the tour. So that's, I think, one of the best parts about the festival is just, and everyone's so chill.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us. This has been Crushed Out, and the Security LP comes out May 11th.
Cool.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us.